Today, we're gonna be talking about my favorite 3 baits on a spinning rod in the fall. So the first one's gonna be a drop shot. This is gonna be more of a worm style drop shot application. I wanna throw the magic worm. I like the 6-inch, but the 4-inch works. The 6-inch in more of like your natural green pumpkin-y, throw some purple in it. Colors like Alabama Brim, Oxblood Grape, green pumpkin money, those style of colors are going to be what I shoot for in the fall, because unless you have a lot of rain, there's going to be a lot of clear water in a lot of your reservoirs. If you live in a place like Florida or South Carolina or anywhere that you get those muddy waters year round, then maybe you want to try like a darker color, Bruiser Flash, June Bug Dream, anything like that. But a drop shot with a 6-inch worm, especially the magic worm, is a great bait to throw in the fall. You want to throw this around your isolated cover, so like rock piles, brush piles, docks, anything like that. That's what you're going to want to be targeting with the drop shot. Another bait to kind of substitute there, if the drop shot's not working, because this is a thing, is a shaky head. A shaky head, it's kind of funny how it works. The shaky head will actually get bit on some days better than the drop shot. And I think that's because those fish become more bottom oriented and want to feed down. So like on a day that they're eating crawfish, that's gonna be more of your bottom oriented bait, what you wanna use to target those fish, because they feed better on that stuff. You'll notice on certain days you'll throw a drop shot to your blue in the face, and then you'll pick up the shaky head, and the first place you hit that you think they should be on, you'll catch a fish or two out of it. Well, there's a reason for that, is because there's days where that shaky head really comes in play. The third one, for all you jig folks out there, is gonna be the micro football jig. This is a 1/4 ounce, but we offer it in a 1/4 and a 3/8 ounce. That's just a little trimmed up mini D chunk on the back of that. This is gonna be good for your, beating the bank, still throwing at that isolated cover style of stuff. You're gonna wanna basically just throw this anywhere you throw your normal jig, off points, rock, grass, anything like that. And this little jig will generate bites on those tougher days better than your regular style jig. This is a great little finessey bait that still gets big bites. Do not be afraid of the size of this thing. I have personally caught 5 and 6 pounders on this bait right here. And they do not shy away from it just because of the size. So if it gets tough on you, definitely throw that little micro football jig. All right, well, those were 3. I do have a 4th. There are times, especially from the middle of October leading into the later part of the fall, that the bait fish will get in the backs of the creeks. And you can go fish the backs of the creeks and chase those bait fish. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. When they are there, a small little jerk bait can be killer for those fish, because they're trying to pinpoint shad in those little schools of shad in the back of the creek. So if you find a bait like the jerk bait that stands out, or those fish will more easily find that bait that stands out. So you want to pick a bait that has a good amount of flash. You want to find a color that somewhat mimics the bait in your area, but you want to also find one that sticks out in that group of fish, the group of shad in the back of those creeks. So that's my little kind of bonus one. We live on Smith Mountain Lake here in Virginia, and personally, I take the jerkbait out in the backs of those creeks during the fall. When those fish are pushing bait in the backs of the creeks, we got striper, largemouth, smallmouth, they all do it. Those little jerkbaits can be killer on those fish. So give them a try. These are baits, my top 3, 4 baits on a spinning rod in the fall.